Hello, everyone. Good morning and welcome to this webinar of ENRICH in China. Today, we will be focusing on the ICT sector in China and presenting some business opportunities in this area. Our webinar today was organized in cooperation with the ICT cluster. We have here with us Mr. Todor Mitov from the ICT cluster. So, Todor, I don't know if you want to say a few words to our attendees.
First of all, I'd like to thank ENRICH and ENRICH in China and SPI for the opportunity to organize this event because I think it's going to be very valuable for our members and all the attendees because China is a very big market that everyone wants to get in, but it's as big as it is, it's very hard. And I think this webinar will give valuable insight on how to do business in China and what are the very valuable business opportunities, especially in the ICT sector. So again, I would like to thank SPI and ENRICH for the opportunity to organize this. And I hope every attendee takes the most of it and have a good listen. Thank you.
Thank you, Todor. I will now just briefly present to you the agenda before we start. Our first presentation of today is just going to provide you a brief overview of the ENRICH in China's services and activities. This is going to be done by Mr. Richard Deng, who is our chief representative at the Chinese office of SPI. SPI is the coordinator of ENRICH in China. Our second presentation, it's going to be focused on business culture in China, and our speaker is going to be Johnny Pan, my colleague also in the Chinese office. And then the final presentation is going to be focused on the ICT sector, more specifically in China, and you will be getting to know a couple of opportunities for international SMEs and startups in the Zhongguancun Science Park. This is going to be presented by Ms. Amanda Guo, who is an industry expert at the park. At the end, we will have the questions and answers section. I will now already inform you that you can check on your GoToWebinar panel that you have a questions box. You can type there your questions throughout the presentations, and then at the end, I will be reading them and posing them to our speakers. With no further ado, I will pass on the word to Mr. Richard Deng, who's going to give us our first presentation of today. Richard, please go ahead.
Thank you, Marina. Okay, hello everyone. I'm going to make a very short presentation about ENRICH in China and also our coming activities. Next. Okay, so what is ENRICH? So ENRICH is a project funded by the European Commission with the Horizon 2020. It aims to connect and support European SDI organizations in China by providing different services, and also to reinforce the leadership of European SDI in China and to promote SDI cooperation between Europe and China. Next, please. The consortium team behind this 2020 project, we have an excellent team, including both European partners and Chinese partners. 80 European partners from different member states, including SPI, that I'm representing, Portuguese management consulting company based in Porto, Portugal. And from Germany, we have Fraunhofer IPK, a very famous research institute in Germany, and also Stebas. In Australia, we have FFT, and in Greece, we have Prezi, and in Switzerland, we have another private organization called EU Relations, And in Belgium, we have EBN, Europe Business Network, also another organization funded by the Commission as well. And in Norway, we have Innovation Norway. From the Chinese side, we have five Chinese partners, China Science and Technology Exchange Center, and the Torch High Tech Development Center, belong to the Ministry of Science and Technology of China. And we also have Tsinghua University, the leading university in China, and the University of Nottingham Ningbo, and UPIC based in Chengdu, another Chinese organization which is also very active in terms of EU-China science technology cooperation. So who are ENRICH's client? So basically, we offer services to different innovators, including research actors, innovation actors, and also business actors. For example, the universities, research center, research council, and innovation agency, funding agency, STI network, and the platform, and also different companies, including large companies, but particularly we focus on SMEs and startups, particularly technology-based, and also cluster management organizations and business association and chambers. So what we do, so basically we offer different types of services to the companies in different member states to help them in approach the Chinese market and to help them to developing STI partnership with Chinese counterparts. So we have STI intelligence services, we have training, we also offer traditional consulting and coach services. We also organize different events, cooperation enabling events. For example, the matchmaking tour to China to help European companies meet with Chinese potential partners and make them to China. And also we have different soft landing zones in different regions of China who could support the European companies landing locally. Next, please. As I mentioned, we have a soft landing zone in different regions of China. So far, we have 6 soft landing zones in China, in Beijing, Shijiazhuang, Shanghai, Xi'an, Nanjing, and Hangzhou. Those are very important cities in China. They could offer different services, provide you local guidance, co-working space, to help you link to the local networks, to help you to apply for the local funding schemes from the Chinese government side. And so basically to help you to grow your business in China. You could visit, find more information from ENRICH website and also their contacts. Of course, you could contact us in case you have any specific request in those regions. Thank you. Next. Well, the upcoming events, we're going to have the second funding forum this year, on October 20 to 22. So this year, this forum will be online. So we welcome you to join through registration in advance. So the funding forum is a one-stop short event about funding opportunities in 3 different regions, Europe, China, and the USA for research, startups, and SMEs. In total, 3 days program. Welcome to visit ENRICH China website and also this website, fundingforum.eu, to have more information about the agenda, the speakers. Basically, we have very good qualified speakers from both Chinese and the European side. So you could have quite a lot of information about different funding opportunities in those 3 regions. Next. And then another webinar on November 17 about business development in China to help you understand Chinese business environment better, understand Chinese business culture and the partnership in China. we have two very good experienced speakers. We'll talk about the right strategic partnerships and also the right presence in China to help you landing China and then grow your business in the Chinese market. Welcome, join with us, and you could find here link to register in advance. This is totally free participation. Now we are going to have another very interesting event about the High Tech Fair 2020 in Shenzhen, China. The High Tech Fair in Shenzhen is the largest and the most influential scientific and technological fair in China. It has been organized for many years. Every year there are quite more than thousands of exhibitors and thousands of visitors come to Shenzhen. So this year we work closely with our partner in Shenzhen to support European companies to join this fair virtually. Of course, you could welcome to join with us in Shenzhen physically. So basically, there would be a European ENRICH booth at the fair. So we could help you to promote your company, for example, your brooch, your material, or even your company video to promote to the potential Chinese counterparts at the fair. Of course, you will also have a chance to enjoy an online matchmaking session to talk with potential Chinese partners and also to join an online pitch session during the fair. This is also totally free participation for European companies. So we welcome you to register and send the application form. You could find here context from these slides. Send the application form to this Ms. Guo Eva at this email address. Next. Okay, thank you very much. So basically, we welcome you to join these coming activities. In case you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Richard, for your intervention. We will now continue with our second presentation that is going to be done by Mr. Johnny Pan about business culture in China. So please, Johnny, you can go ahead.
Okay. So hello, everyone. My name is Johnny Pan. I'm an international consultant based in SPI Beijing office. So today I'm gonna give you some general information about the business culture in China and talking about the current reality in China, the culture, and give you some understanding of how to work with the Chinese partners. Next, please. So this presentation includes two sections. So first, I will talk about the current reality in China and show you some economic data and the different markets and the research innovation landscape. And secondly, I will focus on the managing partnership in China in terms of the business culture and how to find the partners and what are the practical tips when doing business in China. So as you in this slide, it shows you some general economic data. The area is around 9.6 million square kilometer in China. So the population of China is around 1.4 billion people. It is most populated country in the world. And annual population growth rate is around 0.32%. By the 2020, and the GDP per capita is around 9,000 euros in the 2019, and the real growth rate in 2019 is around 9.6%. Next, please. So as you know, China is not a single market. So for most of people, you know already some big cities such as Beijing and Shanghai, Guangzhou, Shenzhen, these big cities, which the GDP per capita has already reached $20,000. So these are the main cities in China. But apart from these first-tier cities, the EU companies may also consider doing business in the second-tier cities, or we so-called it is becoming a new first-tier cities in the cities such as Hangzhou, Suzhou, or Nanjing. And these cities are also very strong in terms of the R&D capability and the technology and the innovation capabilities. And the economies are growing rapidly in the last few years due to these leading technology companies based in the cities like Hangzhou or Suzhou. And the GDP per capita in this city now is as more than 10,000 USD. Okay, next please. Next one, please. Yes, so as you can see, these are the first-tier cities, Beijing, Shanghai, Shenzhen, and Guangzhou, with the population around 12 million. And for other cities that you may consider, for example, such as Hangzhou, Wuxi, and also Nanjing. So these cities are considered as an emerging market with high growing potential. And in west of China, so you may also consider a city like Chongqing and Chengdu, with the population is around 14 to 29 million. And in south of China, like the city like Nanjing, Suzhou, Hangzhou, Wuxi, the population is around 8 to 10 million. So all of these cities are becoming more important in terms of doing. So next time when you travel or when you visit China, apart from the Beijing or Shanghai, you can also try to see these cities locally. Okay, next please. Yes, so in terms of the urban population and the rural populations, so China's urban population today is around 840 million, compared with the urban population with only 170 million in 1978. And while the rural population is 550 million by the 2019. And of the government to fully integrate the 70% of the country's population, roughly 900 million people, into city by 2025. Next, please. Yes, so this map shows you about the development of the high-speed rail. So as you can see from this map, the China is the high-speed rail is already building very well to different cities. So by the end of 2019, China's high-speed railway network reached 35,000 kilometers, up by 5,000 kilometers from 2018. And China plans to build 2,000 kilometer new high-speed lines to complete the network in the coming years. So in China, the most big major cities are connected by the high-speed trails, such as the Beijing, Shanghai, Xi'an, and Chengdu, Chongqing. So if you travel when you arrive at Shanghai, and if you want to visit another city close to Shanghai, you can also take the which is a very convenient way to travel around the cities. Okay, next please. Okay, so for the next 3 slides, I'm going to show you some current situation during the COVID-19 pandemic and what types of business are becoming the main trends during this time. So the first is about B2C interaction shift to digital channels. So during the COVID-19 pandemic, it has totally changed the way of our living significantly. And it has driven the emergence of new digital solutions necessary for company and the consumer. The consumer forced to observe the physical distancing, driving rapid of a stay-at-home economy and transforming the consumer in a way that is likely to endure. So the current trends show that 55% of consumers are likely to continue buying more groceries online after the peak of the COVID-19 crisis, and 74% of the Chinese citizens increased their online grocery visit frequency during the epidemic. And also the 15% report that they will increase the visit after its peak has passed. So here we show you 2 examples, which are the very big companies. The first one is Nike, hosted a workout for the housebound consumers on its mobile apps, stocking the demand and driving the 80% increase in engagement, as well as more than the % increase in the first quarter digital sales in China. Another good example is about the Lululemon. Already deploy a WeChat marketing strategy that increased the customer acquisition during the epidemic, leading the company management to adopt the similar digital engagement models in other regions. The result, and then we are showing another example in the next slide, please. Yes, this slide, it is about another new trends from digital tools deployed in the sector traditionally relied on the physical interaction. So during the lockdown, the companies deploy an array of the digital tools to stay connected with the customer, even in the sector that traditionally rely on the physical interactions. So here we also provide you with 2 examples. The first one is called a Beike. It is a multi-service property platform. This platform it is an online service platform providing you with the virtual reality and to enable the convenient property viewing for clients during the epidemics. So and in this Beike, it has seen the number of agent facilitated property view section on its the VR showroom by almost 35 times month on month in the February. Another example is from the very famous company Tencent backed. It is a new app called the We Doctor. in this app, it rolled out a free online medical consultation program at the start of the outbreak. And the number of doctors supporting the platform has grown from roughly from the 15,000 in January to more than the 54,000 in the April 2020. So this week doctor is also provides some online health inquiry services and also the psychological support and the prevention guideline during the pandemic this time. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is another new trend, and that has become a new business in China. So this is about the digital process introduced to the B2B region. So during the COVID-19, several digital processes were introduced that fundamentally change industry dynamics. So as we know, working remotely has become a new trend during the COVID-19. And there is an app called the Deng that improves the efficiency of working. The active user rose from about 65 million in 2019 around 177 million by 2020. So it's around more than 1.7 times increase. And another example is some Chinese insurers also allowed the virtual client meetings to count toward the life insurance agent key performance indicators, whereas previous only face-to-face meeting were considered. So from those examples, so more business, the online business, which helps the company can still connect with their customer and their clients with a very efficient way. Okay, next one, please. Okay, so for this slide, the research and innovation landscape in China. So China has been working toward a leadership role in the global patent application, academic research publication, and R&D investment, and the high-tech industry. And according to the report on the Global Innovation Index, China is ranked 14th among the 129 countries in 2019, moving up 3 spots from the 2018. And it firmly established itself as one of the innovation leaders, contributing to 24% of the world's R&D expenditure in 2017, and to 44% of the patent application. So in general, China performs better in the innovation outputs than inputs, and especially performs the best in the knowledge and the technology outputs. And the third point is, according to the European Innovation Scoreboard 2017, which is another indicator to evaluate the innovation capability. So the China is a strong increase of China related to performance from 80 points in 2016 to the 83.9 in 2018. So the relative strength include the business R&D expenditure and the trademark and the design application. So due to this increase, the gap between the EU and China is expected to decrease further. Next one, please. Yes. So about the R&D expenditures. So the R&D expenditure in China has continued to increase in the past decades, even during the global financial crisis in the 2008. And the China spending on the research and development hit a height of the 2.23% of GDP in 2019, up by the 0.09% from the previous year. So total expenditure in China R&D amount is around 2.2 trillion yuan. It's around 320 billion US dollar last year's, up by the 12% compared with the 18. In terms of the R&D activity types, the basic research funding in China reached 98 billion yuan in 2017, and the applied research funding was 185 billion yuan. And the third one is the experimental development, which is about 1.5 trillion yuan. So those are the most strong, the strong ability for in terms of the R&D activities. Next one, please. Okay, so now we are going to introduce about the second part, the managing the partnerships. So as you know, when you're making the business in China, it's always easy as you think. So as most of you know, easy to dealing with, or you might need more time to work with them. This is about guanxi, which is becoming more important when you're making the in China. So guanxi is extremely important when it's in China, and if you have the right guanxi, there is a little that cannot get accomplished, even it is taken against the rules. And the best way to establish guanxi is identifying and satisfying the other party's greatest needs, which you can invite your partners or other Chinese counterparts to visit your companies and even host a lunch or a dinner. But you need to be careful. You need to be aware about meeting. You and the things go smooth. You making immediately or even no margin for the meeting. So we are trying to explain that when doing the business in China, try to be flexible, especially having a meeting with your partners or even making the deals, because it might take longer time than you expected. So try to be patient when dealing with the Chinese partners. And the ultimate goal is to build the long-term partnerships and get the win-win for both sides. Next one, please. Okay, so in terms of business etiquette in China, so here we provide some maybe some few tips when you have a first meeting with Chinese partners. So most of this tip maybe you have already noted. The first one, the people should be addressed by or in the last. And when you have when having a conversation with Chinese partner, with the safe subject, the hobbies and the hometown, the Chinese landscape and the cultures, and avoid talking the politics unless you know the person well, because it's sensitive about the politics in China. And you also aware about the do not like because cause embarrassment or and lose the faces. So when you heard
Johnny, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear Marianne. Can you hear me?
Hi, Johnny. I would yes, but we're having a bit of trouble hearing you. I think we're losing the connection. I'm not sure if maybe you turn off your camera. It can help that for us to hear you better because.
Okay.
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 Can you
hear me
can
now?
you go on, please? Okay. Yes. Now it's a lot better.
Okay. Great.
Can continue, please. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Next slide, please. Yes. So there are also some more few tips about the business etiquette in China. So regarding the meeting arrangement, so when arranging a meeting, it is advisable to provide the Chinese company with details of the objective of the meeting, name, position of the participant, and the specific areas of interest in advance. And always remember, start the meeting on time, because it is good to arrive the meeting location early, and also remember to bring the cards. This is the business cards are essential, and use your two hands to present your cards to show respect. And remember, spend a few seconds when you receive the cards. Okay, next, please. Okay, so here we also provide you with some few steps when you pick your the right partners in China. So how to pick the right partners in China? So here we provide steps that you probably could follow. So first, try to analyze your strength and to see which product and services you are going to offer in the Chinese market, and what measure can be used to protect your competitiveness. And this may be relevant with the IPR issue in China. So remember to consult your IP experts in China before you engage in any business. And the second steps, know your competitors well. So you please always remember to know your competitor and the market you wish to operate, because these markets may have a different approach. And if your products or your services are reach the requirement of a big market like Beijing or Shanghai, maybe it is good to consider other second-tier cities, as we mentioned. So the step 3 is about designing your own when dealing with China, and always check your contract. The contract needs to be practical and also indicate where you will draw the line when trading off the IP protection for operational efficiency. Okay, next, please. Okay, so here we also give you some due diligence. This is probably more from the top level, because due diligence is much broader in scope than is generally perceived. Making sure you have a sound understanding of the Chinese market in which you are working. And it is important to find the answer to some question in the area such as the management aspect. For example, what are the management teams in the companies, and the legal issue? For example, are there any restriction imposed on that particular industry with the country? Also, you may also consider like a market aspect. For example, what are the estimate of the needs for the company's products or services, and what market research has been done, and has it been analyzed, and what is the price strategy, and what about the competition. When working with R&D cooperation in China, because I know some companies they are probably doing the technology cooperation with the China, and it is advisable to sign the confidentiality agreement to preserve the proprietary information and the trade secrets. So this is extremely important to have a formal agreement. When licensing to the unrelated Chinese companies, such as in-country manufacturing, a good way is to use different Chinese suppliers to source different components of your product, so that no single Chinese supplier can make your products. And then verify the distributor. When you trade with your Chinese partners, so first you need to verify the distributor and agent to see if they are reputable and that they can actually provide the services you need. And finally, to ensure that you know what customer documents are required for imports of your product into China, and about the regulation that may affect your products. So before you entering the market, you need to read carefully all this documentation from the Chinese customer website. Okay, next. Yes. Okay, about finding potential customers and partners or distributors. So where you find your potential customer and partners. So you may try to attend the trade shows and exhibition and looking at the reputable business matching website. For example, we hold the UPIC fair, Chengdu, every year for business and technology cooperation fair. And you may also consider like hold a seminar and product introduction meeting or pitching to attract the potential customers. Okay, next, please. Next slide, please. Okay, thank you. So about also there are some circumstances indicating a stop sign for making the business with the Chinese partner. So have you experienced the situation that a company wants you to move fast, offering the offer is cheaper than the market price? So do not engage, because this might be a fake company, or a company might have some credit issues, especially when you're facing this type of situation. Secondly, do check the bank account from the Chinese part. So check details several times from different sources before writing the payment, and to check if the name is the same as in the contract, and is the account number the same in all invoice. This is extremely important. And the last one is the contact details. Check the website from the Chinese company, see if they can provide both Chinese and English, and are the contact detail consistent. Also, you may try to call the fixed phone number in few times to see if the real company and to see if this company exists. Okay, next, please. Okay, so we have 2 more slides. So here we have summarized some final tips for companies who are planning to do the business in China. So when you first enter China and entering the Chinese market, you find a very difficult, some difficulties and barriers. For example, the language and the communication is always the issue, because not many people, not all the people in China speak the very good English. So you might need an interpreter or other professional consultancy company to support you to do the business in China. And the second, access the information and the transparency of information. As you know, not all the information in China are very transparent, because some of the might not be easy to get. So you might need to hire or to have a very professional agency to help you to access these types of information. You do translation and a different business culture. So as we just mentioned, cultures is very different compared with the Western cultures. So always remember to keep the good guanxi with your counterpart, and finding the reliable business partner and hiring the staff and of the international standard. Traveling the meet business partner without the local support. So get the support from your partners. It will be help you to more easily to access the market. And other like the local trade barrier, government relations. So all of these are considered the difficulties and the barriers when you enter the Chinese market. And finally, it's about the IPR issue. So try to have a very good IP experts when you do the business in China, because it can prevent you from some companies want to copy your products or want to make the similar products from yours. Okay, the last slide, please. Okay, so finally, we give you some practical advice. So in China, when you do the business, you should study the market carefully and understand the regional difference with China. And then you need to set the specific objective and determine the target market segments and find the reliable local partners and work closely with them. You may also consider to do the co-ads or promotion or other like PR events in China, and take time in negotiating and building personal relationship with the Chinese partner. Doing like a frequent or follow-up meeting will be very helpful. Build a competitive advantage by selling the unique and the competitive products. You need to first do some market research about the know your product to see if this is compatible in Chinese market, and then to increase the market gradually, and to build a sound brand image by participating in the local trade fair, and finally to observe the market development and quickly respond to the change. So finally, I will give you some tips. So when you do the business in China, so keep tracking on the latest information from many perspectives. No matter the business you are entering and the people you are dealing with, and also the market you are engaging with. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Johnny, for your presentation. I will take this opportunity to remind our attendees that you can check in your GoToWebinar panel the questions entry, and you can write your questions there in case you'd like to pose them to our speakers. So our next and final presentation is going to be done by Miss Amanda Guo. She's an industry expert at the Zhongguancun Science Park. So Miss Guo, I will now ask you to, hello, welcome.
Hello. Would you help
To
me
turn
to
your
flip the slides?
Yes, of course. Yes, yes. You can just
Okay.
say next slide, please, and I'll move for you. I'm not sure if you're able to turn off your camera. If not, we can just
No,
use
I
your
don't
sound.
need the camera. Thank you.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
go
So,
ahead,
hello
please.
everyone. I'm Amanda. I'm honored today here to share about the ICT sector in China and opportunities for international SMEs and startups in Zhongguancun Science Park. Next slide, please. Okay, so next slide. So firstly, I'll talk the China technology and ICT overview. Next one, thank you. Okay. China's information and communication technology market is among the most dynamic sectors in the economy. By 2021, the market is projected to reach $8.1 trillion, representing 55% of China's GDP. According to information technology consulting firm IDC, China's ICT imports in 2017 totaled $528 billion, while its exports reached $781 billion. Competition from Chinese firms is strong, as the quality of domestic hardware, software, and services has continued to improve. As China's ICT market develops, certain subsectors that have been driving growth, for example smartphones, are predicted to become saturated. Future growth will be fueled by integrating ICT technologies into and transforming traditional industries. For international firms, big opportunities in China's ICT market are tempered by real challenges. Due to rapidly maturing domestic competition, foreign companies no longer have a dominant market share in many of China's ICT subsectors. Chinese firms have been adept at mastering technologies and shaking up markets, often by offering low prices. US firms are increasingly partnering to stay in the market. As the market matures, there are fewer first-time buyers of ICT. China's cost advantages have also declined as production is increasingly moved elsewhere. Next, please. Okay, next. I'll talk about China's ICT hot topics and trends. Please. Yeah, thank you. China's first cybersecurity law went into effect on June 1, 2017. The law establishes a framework for regulating China's networks on national security grounds and for the supervision of the ICT sector more generally. The law details the security obligations of Internet products and service providers more generally. So, the law institutes rules for the transmission of data and enhances the rules on personal data protection. China continues to roll out implementing measures for the law. Lack of clarity about how the law will be enforced remains a top concern for many ICT companies active in China's market. Data privacy is a critical component of the cybersecurity law and is an area where the Chinese government has been particularly active. In 2019, China's National Cybersecurity Standard Technical Committee proposed modifications to the Personal Identification Information Specification. This specification, the first version of which went into effect in May 2018, defines what constitutes personal identification information under China's cybersecurity law. China's new data measures trends attracted significant industry concern due to inconsistencies with international practices on data transfer and data localization, which could heavily impact international business operation. Industrial big data and the industrial internet are two major efforts aligned with China's Mobile Made in China 2025 initiative. In 2019, there has been clear demands for these new technologies, as China's industrial internet architecture is now in place. Internet of Vehicles and smart vehicles will be another emerging subsector, with the development and integration of smart platform, vehicle operating system, artificial intelligence, and 5G technologies. VR, AR, and AI are also emerging technologies areas where China is focused. Next slide, please. So over the past decades, China has consistently ranked as one of the largest and fastest growing country market for the US semiconductors and semiconductor manufacturing equipment, and will continue to do so in the near term. According to the Semiconductor Industry Association, China represents 50% of the 336 billion global semiconductor market. Headwinds brought on by slowing global demands for ICT products, slowing transition to smaller IC manufacturer nodes, and a strong dollar, however, will be exacerbated by China's OPEC policies and unprecedented state-led investment to develop a local semiconductor industry. China's policies, which are intended in part to reduce reliance on international semiconductor imports, create medium and long-term uncertainties for US industry prospects in Chinese market. While a gap remains between China's demand production of semiconductors with support of Chinese government, including significant state funding directed by state-guided investment funds. Some Chinese semiconductor companies are looking to develop core technologies that allows China to bridge that gap. In recent years, many new 12-inch semiconductor fab projects have been announced in China, including projects in Xiamen, Hefei, Nanjing, Wuhan, and Chengdu. Although China is fast-growing, important market for global cloud computing, the country presents serious challenges for US cloud providers. Regulatory restrictions, including strict requirements to operate with a local partner. Some aspects of governmental decision-making and local competition make China a problematic market for even large experienced US providers. Operating in China therefore requires substantial resources, flexibility, and a long-term outlook. And smart city is a loosely defined term applied to everything from urban design to higher education policy. But the most accepted definition is the use of information technology to solve urban problems, including related to managing traffic, stabilizing electric grids, allocating and coordinating emergency services, and providing more city information to people and managers than has ever been available before. And here I'd like to talk about Xiong'an New District. This is a special district announced on April 1st, 2017. President Xi Jinping announced that the 3 counties in Hebei province would be designated as the Xiong'an New Area. This area, located about 100 kilometers southwest of Beijing, Xiong'an will house institutions and companies currently struggling to find space in this crowded capital Beijing. According to a 2017 study by Morgan Stanley, Xiong'an will draw in as much as 2.4 trillion yuan, equals to $380 billion in investments, or 13 times what China spent on the construction of the Three Gorges Dam. And Xiong'an is also expected to help accelerate the development of the wider Beijing, Tianjin, Hebei area, which is intended to be a northern regional powerhouse driving China's economy, akin to the Pearl River Delta in the south and Yangtze River Delta in the east. Chinese officials have emphasized the importance of technological innovation for Xiong'an. China's top 3 technology companies, BAT, Baidu, Alibaba, and Tencent, have also announced their intention to establish branches in Xiong'an. Government officials have also stated this new area is intended to be a demo area for sustainable, modern, and innovative urban model, which is open for all cutting-edge technologies. The Chinese government intends to issue a Xiong'an specific negative list for foreign investors. Foreign companies may find business opportunities as Xiong'an's construction continues. Next page, please. Next one. Next one. This is the previous page. So yeah. China's ICT policy environment presents a serious challenge. China views the sector through a commercial and national security lens. Policies intended to ensure security often appears to do so at the expense of foreign companies' interests. Issues related to China's dynamic top policy landscape in the ICT markets are discussed in greater detail below. Furthermore, despite stronger intellectual property protection, high levels of piracy remain. So, policy regulation and market barriers. With booming growth of China's digital economy, cybersecurity has become critically important to Chinese regulators. China's cybersecurity law took effect on June 1, 2017, and is designed to promote national security. Implementing measures for the law, including those on cybersecurity review and cross-border data law, will have a large but as of now unknown effect on foreign firms and the development of the ICT industry as a whole. China continues to introduce new laws and measures related to the cybersecurity law for public comments in advance of future implementation. Foreign firms must comply with China's multi-level protection scheme, which seeks to protect information networks from being damaged or attacked. Products are classified from 1 to 5, 1 being the lowest and 5 being the most critical to China's national security, social order, and economic interests. Technology products at MLPS level 3 and above must include at least some domestic IP. MLPS also requires that traditional IT products at level 3 or above be subject to rigorous testing. Few foreign companies are licensed to sell products at level 3. On June 27, 2018, China released the draft Cybersecurity Classified Protection Regulations, sometimes referred to as MLPS 2.1, for public comment. MLPS 2.0 version emphasizes protection of critical information infrastructure, as highlighted in the cybersecurity law, and expands the scope of MLPS to cover some emerging technologies, such as cloud computing, big data, and Internet of Things technologies. The US government will continue to monitor development of this measure as it currently remains in the draft phase. So, next page, please. So the third part, I'd like to talk about the Zhongguancun industry policy for segmented fields. Next, please. To encourage ICT develop and attract more ICT-related companies, Zhongguancun Demonstration Zone have issued 10 sub-industry policies since 2014. Since those policies are widely including big data, biomedical devices, intelligent hardware industry, internet cross-border integration and innovation, and intelligent robots, integrated circuit design, AR, VR, energy conservation and environmental protection technologies, and modern horticulture. So you can see the detailed list of those policies here on this page from 2012 to 2018. So next page, please. Those policies are in two major policy systems, direction and task category and specific implementation category. Those two policy systems together not only direct the orientation, but also provide specific measurement and support for ICT industry. Next page, please. Okay. So they proposed specific implementation measures for all kinds of common innovation elements, covered technical R&D, platform construction, product demonstration application, and human resource and finance. Next page, thank you. Here comes some characteristic parks in Beijing, focuses on different ICT industry, and you're welcome to come and join to share this dynamic development of the market. And for example, like Daxing Yizhuang Park, this is in the southern part of Beijing. It's mainly focused in intelligent robots, and Shijingshan Park in the west part of Beijing on virtual reality. So here is my presentation, and thank you for listening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wolf, for your presentation. We should now go to the questions and answers session. I'm going to check here what we have regarding the questions. I will take this opportunity to remember to our attendees that you can write any questions you have on your questions box on the GoToWebinar settings. So I'm checking here. We had here a note from Mr. Ferdinand Asher saying that he found the presentation very interesting and that he will contact the Austrian NCP to step further on this regard. So I'm checking here and we don't have any further question. So Todor, I'm not sure if you want to say any final closing words. I'm not hearing you, I think. I'm not being able to hear you. I'm seeing that your microphone is not muted, but I'm not receiving any sound. Unfortunately, no, it's not working. I'm not sure why, but okay. I think we can close the session. I apologize for these little technical problems that sometimes happen. It's normal when we're in a live session. Also, so I will thank everyone who participated today. Many thanks to our speakers. Again, to Miss Amanda Guo, to my colleagues Richard Deng and Johnny Penn, and a special thank you to the ICT cluster here represented by Mr. Todor Mitov, and to all of our participants. Once again, thank you for attending. Here we have our contacts, so you can check more information about the services provided by the ENRICH in China Center in our website, www.china.enrichcenters.eu. And if you'd like to pose us any question or get in touch with our speakers requesting more information about today's presentations, you can send us an email at china@enrichcenters.eu, and we will be very happy to put you in contact and provide you any information that you might want. So thank you very much, everyone, once again, and we hope to see you in a next opportunity. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.